Item Number SCP-2037 Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. All SCP-2037 specimens are to be contained in an enclosed container with the minimum size of 10 meters by 10 meters by 3 meters. Specimens should always have sufficient access to fresh hay, grass, and water. SCP-2037 specimens are to be removed from the container before the daily cleaning of the containment chamber. Any sightings of suspicious dust clumps around the facility are to be collected and observed if possible. Description: SCP-2037 is an unknown anomalous species of the Sylphalicus genus. Specimens have an appearance similar to the Sylphalicus auduboni, Desert Cottentail rabbit species. SCP-2037 also share a common diet with other species in the genus. Currently, the Foundation has 23 live SCP-2037 specimens in containment. SCP-2037's anomalous properties manifest when specimens detect possible threats. When approached by any unknown or threatening subject, specimens of SCP-2037 will flee from the subject. Specimens are reported to quickly transform its body into a clump of dust while running. When in dust state, SCP-2037 specimens are very resistant to physical harm and are able to travel short distances if strong winds are present. When a significant enough amount of dust is lost, specimens in dust state will try to collect and accumulate dust from its environment. If the loss is too significant to regain, SCP-2037 will decrease in size while returning to normal state. Specimens in dust state are mainly composed of rabbit fur, lakes of dead skin, lint, and spiderwebs. No living tissue can be found within the dust particles. When in normal state, no non-organic substances that are found in the dust state are detected. Addendum 2037-1 SCP-2037 specimens 1 to 17 were originally found in the Beep Park in Beep, Nebraska. Local officials initially reported there was an excessive amount of dust located throughout the park. SCP-2037 first came to the Foundation's attention when Agent Beep witnessed an SCP-2037 specimen entering dust state. Site Beep was established near Beep Park after the event in Beep. Addendum 2037-2 Logs of Test 2037-B and C. Test Log 2037-B. Subjects: SCP-2037 1, 2, and 3. Procedures: introduce the 3 chosen SCP-2037 specimens to 1 specimen of Canis latrans, coyote species. Result: all subjects ran and avoided the Canis latrans specimen once it entered containment. The Canis latrans specimen attempted to pursue SCP-2037-3, but it stopped in confusion as all 3 subjects entered dust state. The Canis latrans specimen showed no sign of interest for the subjects in dust state after. Analysis: the specimen have shown that SCP-2037 is capable of surviving almost any predator attack. Considering the speed they reproduce, they can easily overpopulate an ecosystem. Dr. Beep. Test 2037-C. Subject: SCP-2037-6. Procedure: see what is the smallest size SCP-2037 can become by separating portions of dust from the specimen in dust state. Split half of the current dust clump size and continue separating half of the dust clump remaining from each split. Results: after SCP-2037-6 entered dust state, 1/2 of the dust clump was removed and placed in a separate room. Subject returned to normal state 8 minutes later with half of the previous size. At the 5th split, the subject ceased returning to normal state. Analysis: so the subject would need to regain to a certain size in order to possibly return to normal state. Dr. Beep. Note: the separated dust in the other chamber was reported later to transform back to normal form. which was genetically identical to the other half of the subject in normal form. Addendum 2037-3 in Beep. SCP-2037-19 expired from excessive tumorous growth on its head caused by a Shoppe papillomavirus infection. Within Beep hours, all flesh growth on SCP-2037-19 had decomposed. Approximately Beep minutes later, the skeleton was reported to transform into a large clump of dust and back to skeleton form Beep minutes later. Note: SCP-2037 is not exactly a living rabbit species, contrary to what we previously assumed. Dr. Beep.